Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. In today's video, we're going to revisit Flatpaks. If you use Flatpak applications on your Linux desktop, then managing them can be a bit awkward depending on your desktop environment. Not every distribution includes the tools that's required to manage Flatpak applications, so it can be a bit hit or miss depending on your platform. But in today's video, we're going to look at a tool that helps us manage our Flatpaks. It's called Warehouse, and we're going to see it in action today. Warehouse is a simple utility that helps you manage your Flatpak apps in one place. You can view installed applications, check their status, manage repositories, inspect user data, and more. If you rely on Flatpak applications regularly, this tool can make managing them much easier. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works. But before that, what I want to do right now is give you a quick refresher on Flatpaks in general in case this is the first time that you've heard of the concept. Flatpak is a modern format for distributing Linux applications that works across many different distributions. It allows you to install applications outside of your distribution's native repositories, which means you can get even newer versions of software than what your distro provides. Flatpaks aren't required or anything, but they can be very useful if you're looking for newer software or applications that may not exist in your distro's repositories. And the way that I'm going to structure this particular video is we're going to start with a refresher on how to install Flatpak, which you can skip if you already have that set up, but I wanted to include that just in case any of you don't have that set up just yet. And after we do that, we're going to install Warehouse and see how it can help us manage our Flatpaks. So let's dive in right now. So let's get started. I'll log into my desktop right here and we'll begin the process. And again, what we're going to do in this section is refresh ourselves on how to set up Flatpak support in general. Some distributions are actually released with Flatpak support built in and others aren't. But the first thing we need to do is find out if our distribution has Flatpak support built in, and if not, we'll have to add support for Flatpak. So what we'll do is go to a website. We're going to visit flatpak.org. And there we have a button that says Get Set Up. So what we'll do is click on that. And as you see right here, we have icons for various Linux distros. All you have to do is click on the icon that matches your distribution and you'll get instructions for how to set it up. It's always possible that when you click on it, it might tell you that your distribution already includes Flatpak support, but let's see what happens. I'm currently running Debian 13, so click on the Debian icon. And here we have instructions for setting up Flatpak support on Debian. And to walk you through the instructions a little bit, the first thing we're going to do is install Flatpak itself. That's not the complete solution, although we can use Flatpaks if we install only that, but that's not the only thing that we should install. That's basically the minimum that we need to install. Now for running the GNOME desktop, then we can install this second package right here, the GNOME software plugin for Flatpak. And what that'll do is allow us to search for and install Flatpak applications right from GNOME software. It's optional, but it's very helpful. Now, if you're not running GNOME on your end, and maybe you're running something like KDE Plasma, then what you could do instead is install this package right here. That'll give you the equivalent support on KDE Plasma as well. So you'll install one of these if you're using GNOME or Plasma, and what I'll do is install the Flatpak package. And then in my case, I'm running GNOME, so I'm going to install this plugin as well. So let's get started. The first thing I'll do is copy the first command, and then I'm going to switch over to my terminal, and I'll paste it in right here. So again, this is going to install Flatpak itself, which is the least we need to do. So I'll press enter. I'll type in my super secret password. And as you see here, we've now installed Flatpak on this system. It's a relatively small application, so it downloads pretty quickly, as you just saw. Now optionally, like I mentioned, you can install one of these plugins right here depending on which desktop environment you're running. Again, I'm running GNOME, so I'm going to copy this right here. I'll switch back over to my terminal. I'll paste it in, and there it is. So I'll press enter. And now the plugin for GNOME software is installed as well. Anyway, now that we've installed the plugin here, there's one more thing that we have to do. We need to install a repository for Flatpaks to be downloaded from. And that's a perfect segue to mention Flathub. So essentially, the first command was to install Flatpak support itself, And then we also installed the plugin for GNOME software. But none of that really matters if we don't have a repository to download Flatpaks from, and that's what Flathub is. Now, as an aside, if you scroll through Flathub, it's very interesting. You'll see there's all kinds of applications here that we can install. You could search for one if you know the name of the application that you want, or you could simply browse through any of the ones that are listed here. So randomly, I'll click on this one, and we have an install button. But I'm not going to install it just yet. What I want to do, again, is set up the Flathub repository, so that way we have it available to us. And if I go back to the instructions and scroll down to step number 3, you'll see right here we have the Flatpak command. We're going to add a remote repository. We're only going to do so if it doesn't already exist. The name of the repository that we'll be adding is called Flathub. And this file right here is a repo file for Flatpak to use for downloading applications. So we'll copy this right here. We'll switch over to a terminal. We'll paste it in. And here we have it. So I'll press enter. And that should be all there is to it. However, there's another command that we may as well run just to make sure that everything works properly. So we'll run flatpak update --appstream and press enter. And what that's going to do is force a refresh of all of the applications that Flathub provides, and we should be good to go. Now that we've installed everything and we've refreshed the Flatpak database for packages, we'll reboot our system, and then once it comes back up, we'll check GNOME software. So go ahead and reboot your computer, and then once you do that, we'll continue. And my computer finished rebooting, so what I'll do is log in. And I'll launch GNOME software. And as you can see, it's refreshing data. And now it's done. And to test it, what I'll do is hit the search icon right here. I'm going to search for a random application. How about Thunderbird? Depending on how your distribution handles this, it might actually show Flatpak applications separately. So let's click on this one right here. And we'll see that it's being offered from Flathub. So this is the Flatpak version. So what I'll do is install it. And as you can see, it's installed. Now the thing is, I'm not going to go into any more detail regarding Flatpak than I just did, because I have other videos on the channel that explain it in more detail. I just wanted to give you guys a quick refresher. But what I will do is install a few more Flatpaks to make sure that Warehouse has more than one to manage. And now that I have several Flatpaks installed, let's see how Warehouse can help us manage them. So what I'll do is install Warehouse itself. And here it is. So we'll click on it, and we'll install it. And now that Warehouse is installed, we should be able to launch it. It'll be available in your list of installed applications, but we can also open it from here. So I'll click on Open. And here it is. We now have Warehouse installed, and we can begin using it. So what we'll do is browse through the application, starting with Packages here at the top. And that's going to list all of the Flatpaks that I've installed. We have Warehouse itself, but I also installed Thunderbird, Steam, Firefox, and Bitwarden. So for each one of these applications, we could click on one of them, and we could view information about that Flatpak. We could see how much hard drive space is being used by that application. We can see whether or not there's any user data. We also see the version that's installed. Now in this case, there's no user data yet, and most likely that's because I haven't launched this application since I installed it. So what I did was open each application off camera, so that way there's going to be local user data that we can manage. And now when I click on each of these applications, you'll see that there's user data for each one. And what's really cool about this is that you could click the folder icon right here to open the user data and view it. So I'll click on it. And here we have the user data for Firefox. So if you're curious where your dot files or app data is stored for Flatpaks, this will give you a general idea. We can see that underneath .var/app, we have the name of the Flatpak right here, org.mozilla.firefox, and we have all of the data here. So if you wanted to know how to back up your user data for a Flatpak app, this will give you a general idea where that data is located, but we don't have to do it manually. Since we have Warehouse installed, we'll be able to manage the data right here. So for example, if I wanted to reset Firefox, I could delete the user data. I don't recommend that you do that unless you have a good reason to, but if you do want to start your profile over from scratch, that might be one way to do that. We also see some additional information here about the application as well. And the thing is, that's not even the only thing that this application allows us to do. Warehouse gives us all kinds of options for managing Flatpaks. For example, we can manage remotes, also known as repositories. We see here that we have Flathub installed, which we installed earlier. There's also some additional remotes that we can install if we wanted to. For example, the App Center, there's one for Fedora, GNOME Nightly, and so on. You can also install a repository from a file as well if you wanted to do that, but you get the general idea. Most people are going to use Flathub, so that's probably 90% of what you'll need. So we're probably fine if we just leave Flathub as the only remote that we've added here. But if you wanted to consider one of the others, you could certainly do that. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but real quick, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a Linux system start behaving in a way that makes absolutely no sense? The logs look fine, services are running, and yet something is still broken? Well, that kind of situation is exactly why I put together a short ebook on Linux troubleshooting. Inside it, I walk through some practical troubleshooting strategies, useful command line tools, and some creative workarounds that can help you diagnose strange problems much faster. I also included some Linux life hacks that can save you some time when things inevitably break. Because, well, let's face it, eventually they will. So if you'd like to level up your system administration game and become the person who actually figures out what's wrong instead of just guessing, then you could check out the ebook using the URL that's being shown on the screen right now and is also linked in the description down below. So check out my new ebook and level up your troubleshooting skills. And I really appreciate your support of Learn Linux TV. Thank you so much. And with all that said, let's get back to the video. Now here we have user data. We see user data for Warehouse itself, but we also have a tab for leftover data. And right now we don't have anything here, and generally speaking, you're only going to see something here if you've uninstalled an application, but you haven't removed the user data. The thing is, uninstalling a Flatpak doesn't necessarily remove user data, so you could choose to keep user data after you remove an application if you think you might install it later, but if you know that you won't, then you could go in here and remove leftover data. And to see that in action, what I'll do is go back to Packages, and here we have Firefox. So what I'm going to do is actually uninstall Firefox. We could do that from GNOME software, or we could do it from Warehouse as well. So what I'll do is uninstall it. And here we get an option to keep user data or to send it to the trash. I'm going to choose to keep it just in case I want to install Firefox later. So what I'll do is click Uninstall. And now we can see that Firefox has been removed. Now if I go back to user data again, and I'm on the leftover data tab, we can see that Firefox now has leftover data. So if later on I decide that I'm never going to install this Flatpak ever again, I could remove the data, or I could simply retain it if I want to keep it for future use. But the cool thing about this is that you can see leftover data and clean up your system. That way, if you remove some Flatpaks, you can make sure that they're fully removed. We also have a Snapshots tab as well. And what this allows us to do is take a snapshot of the state of any of the Flatpak apps that we have installed. And to do that, all we have to do is click New Snapshot. And we could take a snapshot of any of the applications that we have installed. So if I wanted to create a snapshot of Bitwarden, I can do that. I'll just give it a name, and then I'll click Create. And right here, we can see a list of snapshots. I only have the one that I just created. And I could apply the snapshot if I want to restore it. I can rename it. Or if I feel like I'm not going to need that particular snapshot, I can send it to the trash, as you can see. So it's actually a pretty easy user interface so far. We could create snapshots, which we see right here. And then if we go to remove the application, let's uninstall it. We're going to keep the content. And now it's uninstalled. If we go back to snapshots, we still have the Thunderbird snapshot right here, but notice that apply is grayed out. And that's because the application is not installed. So restoring a snapshot doesn't reinstall the application, but it does restore the state of the application. So to get it reinstalled, what I'll do is click Install Packages. We're going to search in Flathub. We'll go ahead and reinstall Thunderbird again. And here it is. So let's install it. And now it's installed. And that's one of the coolest things about Warehouse. Even if you don't use GNOME software or Plasma Discover, you can still use this application right here to browse for and install Flatpaks, which is pretty cool. But anyway, now that I've reinstalled Thunderbird, you'll see that the Apply button is now lit up, so I can actually restore the snapshot. And even though I haven't made any actual changes to Thunderbird, I'll restore the snapshot anyway. So I'll apply it, and I was able to overwrite the state of Thunderbird with a snapshot. How cool is that? As you can see, this is a very simple application. It gives us the ability to see the packages that are currently installed. It gives us all kinds of detail regarding those packages. It allows us to manage repositories. We can manage our user data as well. We can see active data, and this represents all the data that's currently stored locally for each one of these Flatpaks. And we also have leftover data for anything that's not currently installed. So if we want to clean up our user data, we could do that too. And also, we could take a snapshot of a Flatpak at any time to restore its state later. And you saw me do that with Thunderbird. And also, of course, we can install packages from Warehouse by simply clicking Install Packages. As you can see, we can search for packages. And I found Audacious, which is a really cool music player. So if I wanted to install that, all I have to do is click the Install button. And there you go. As you can see, Warehouse is a very simple application. It doesn't have a ginormous number of features, but the features that it does have are quite useful. Being able to delete leftover data, see the installed size of individual Flatpaks, install new ones, take snapshots. There's a lot of really cool things we could do with Warehouse. And there's our video. In today's video, we checked out Warehouse, a really cool utility that can help us manage our Flatpak apps, and I hope you enjoyed it. As for me, I'm going to install Warehouse on all of my computers because I do find it useful. I really like the ability to snapshot Flatpaks, manage user data. It's just really cool. Either way, let me know what you thought of Warehouse or this entire video down in the comments below. I'm excited to read what you guys have to say. And also, if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to Learn Linux TV for the latest in Linux. With all that said, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one.